Okay, hello guys. Welcome to another video. Today we also talk about a very important topic here. This will hopefully enlighten you and empower you and also remove a lot of darkness, ignorance, and confusion in your life. So we first need to understand, um, in order for us to know and understand the purpose of our life on earth and why we are here, we need to understand why God created us and 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 how he created us to be. So God the Father of created man, true Adam, to be spiritual and mystical. So the true purpose of our life on earth here is to embed in our character the image and likeness of God and Jesus Christ, as modeled by Jesus Christ. So we know that God created man in the image and likeness of God, but man, because of his disobedience, he fell from that original likeness and image and likeness, which resulted in death, destruction, curses, and all evil things that you see in this world today. So what now is our purpose here today? Well, it's to go back to that original state of being a true Adam, and to eat from the tree of life instead of tree of death, which is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So we all have an enormous responsibility to fulfill this mission, and also be aware and be kind to one another, and just so let's focus on this one topic here. What is the purpose of your life? So the purpose of our lives is to overcome and purify ourselves of the evil inclination and be true Adam. So the purpose of our lives is to go back to the original sinless state of Adam before the fall of mankind. And this, you can pretty much say this in a variety of different ways. The Bible says this in a lot of variety of different ways. So also the purpose of our lives is to prepare ourselves for the marriage of the Lamb, who is Christ, our bridegroom. Also, the purpose of our lives is to re-enter the Garden of Eden. Purpose of our lives is to rule over and have dominion over God's creations, physical and spiritual. So to be a true Adam is the highest achievement that a person can be. So this is the ultimate purpose and mission in life of every person ever born on earth. So let's think about it here. Being a true Adam is the highest achievement that a person can achieve. Instead of worldly fame, wealth and riches, women, possessions, intellect, all of this, they are all kind of not, they're all vanity. They're all vanity and not truly important in our lives. Although while people have them, we should glorify and thank God and not use them for selfish purposes. And yeah, so Jesus Christ was the true Adam. So we have an example to follow and to be imitators of. And a lot of people, they ask what the meaning of life is. What is the meaning of life? And if you just go back to the original equipment manufacturer, who is God, and ask God what the meaning of life is, and then we can kind of see that the meaning of our lives is to embed in our character the image and likeness of God the Father as modeled by Jesus Christ. So the most meaningful endeavor in our lives is to have an intimate face-to-face relationship with God and Christ. And so life was originally created by God for men, for us, so that we could fulfill the very purpose we could fulfill that purpose to rule over and have dominion over God's creations, both physical and spiritual. And so we can see that life was created by our God for the purpose of men. And the purpose of men is to rule and manage all the creations of God. Okay, so I hope that this answers your question of what is the meaning of life. Our meaning of life has a meaning already on its own. We don't really have to figure it out on ourselves. God already has created life for us. So it already has meaning. And that meaning is to know God face to face, to understand the mission of our life, to go back to the original Garden of Eden and eat from the tree of life. That's really what we should. That's what should have happened. Yeah, when Adam disobeyed God. So when he should have just kept eating from. He should have kept eating from the tree of life. So yeah, and so why are we here on earth? Why were we born? Okay, so why are we here on earth and why were we born? Okay, so like we said here, we're here because of our unique, we each have this unique role in our unique story, right? We all have a unique story and a role of fulfilling that purpose of overcoming and purifying ourselves of the evil inclination, and to be a true Adam. A true Adam is originally someone who is very selfless, who walks with God, talks with God face to face, and is perfect. True Adam is perfect. He has no, he lacks nothing, right? So we need to go back to that perfection state, and that's what our goal should be. Our mission should be to go back to that perfect state. You know, why were we born? Why were we born? Why were we born? To so King David in Psalm 139 says that we are all fearfully and wonderfully made, and so we are born to marvel and be in awe of God's creations, and fulfill that purpose in our life to be the true Adam. And here's another question: why do we exist? So why do we exist? A lot of people have depression, anxiety, mental health problems that really make people suffer, and bring trauma to people. But if we have a clear understanding of why we exist, we can probably eliminate most of our mental health problems. So why do we exist? What is the meaning of existence? Why do we exist? Well, existence already has a purpose and a meaning of its own. So we exist because we were meant to exist. You know, God Himself, so Isaiah 45:18, for thus said the Lord, that God created the heavens, God Himself that formed the earth and made it. He has established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. So he created it to be inhabited. And Jesus Christ also says that blessed are the meek, they shall inherit the earth. So the existence of our life, why do we exist, is to properly inherit and manage all of God's possessions and creations. That's so, and to do that, we must purify ourselves from the evil inclination and be perfect. And what I mean by perfect is to be blameless. So to be righteous and pure, you know. Okay, so all right. I hope this kind of gives you some clarity into what we should prioritize in our lives, and also it gives you a direction, right? It gives you some direction and some sense of purpose, encouragement, hope, some meaning behind suffering. And and I hope this gives you the why of your how and what, you know. So if we know why we do things, and if we know why we exist, and why we should suffer, and why we should go through these things, we can overcome those suffering and challenges, and become better, become perfect. So and there is really it to give you hope. It is worth it. It is worth it, because hope does not disappoint. God does not disappoint. Even God has said that no ear has heard, no eye has seen, no hand has touched what God has prepared for them. For God has prepared for those who love Him. So I hope this gives you some kind of encouragement and some kind of hope, you know. All right. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day.